Hello, everyone. My name is Egar White, and I'd just like to tell you that at this very moment in Washington, D.C., Obama is convening his military might to decide what plans they should initiate in the next coming days. And what has been under consideration is false flags to do either civil unrest or a general uh, civil war all across America, or a false flag. And since we saw the people of Milwaukee behave so absolutely wonderful in the light of recent police shootings, and they try to instigate some demonstrations and wild destruction, and instead we're met with people singing praises and Bible study and worship together. So I'm afraid that we have now deteriorated to option number 3, which is false flag. There's also been reports coming out of Fort Lewis and Fort Bragg and videos and photos which I saw last night and this morning were erased from my computer. So Mr. Secret Touch out there, Tim, if you can please resend those items. I would encourage that anyone that sees this video would take this link and send it to every single Facebook, email, or other social contact that you have. Because if we don't get the word out, then the false flag will happen. The only way to stop it is to get the word out to as many media and other people as you can. And trust me, when we started sending out information on the truth of what actually happened, that our military was watching live via camera from a drone the entire Benghazi incident that happened. And of course, we heard that Mr. Obama went to bed, and Hillary sat there in the Situation Room and watched with a bunch of other military people. And there were cameras up at 5 different locations, and they sat there and watched Ambassador Stevens being sodomized to death. And the reason why Obama gave the order to stand down to the 3 generals, one of which shortly afterward was found murdered, one which retired, and one which quit, and all of the outgoing generals have been extremely quiet on why they quit in that whole situation, but we see it happening again. And we've seen where these pictures coming out of these bases, these are American bases, and they were said to be on both Marine bases and Army bases. So if you have any friends at all in the military, get this word to them too, because they may think that those planes are going to be used in some secret operation in Afghanistan or such, because that's what the gentlemen were told when they were creating, assembling, and storing guillotines for use on American citizens. They were told, oh yeah, all this stuff is, we're going to ship it abroad. So you need to get the word out to all your military friends as well, and tell them to be on the lookout for Russian decorated American fighter jets. The tape which I listened to was definitely Obama's voice, and there were several people commentating to it as they were listening to it. And they were saying that the incident starts with, "Good morning, American people, and we're going to get aid to you as soon as possible. Just hang on for a few more days. America's really strong, and right now all the roads are really pitted out, so it's going to take us a couple more days to get things together, and then we will send you to distribution points," which of course is going to include that you must accept the mark of the beast and the RFID chip, or never do business or commerce again. Again, this false flag is to both cover up that there is impending financial disaster, to take the place of failed race riots in various attempts across the country, and to assert all of the blame onto Russia by making these planes fly around a little bit so that people get pictures of them. And apparently the commercial airliner, big giant cargo jets that crashed into the Twin Towers were not successfully captured on sufficient enough cameras and film and such, because we're basically a trusting good people and we believe in our government. We want to believe our government. And as the famous saying goes, it's a lot easier to pull over deceit on a people than it is to convince a people that they've been deceived. So please get this information out and ask the gentlemen who are working at the bases that are painting American fighter planes to look as though they're Russian planes. And then the rest of the tape went on to say most of the damage and the torn up roads and potholes and destruction of the roads and stuff has happened in Zone 3. So just hang in there a little bit longer, and in a couple of days, we'll let you know what distribution centers and such to go to. So the question remains, Zone 3. This is supposed to be, according to the FEMA maps, the areas on the East Coast. That would be Manhattan, Maryland, and South. So it's about the central section of the East Coast. They may change their operation. They may change where they're going to do it. They may change and make another series of police shootings and try to go for the race riot thing. That would be preferable, in my estimation, to the current false flag, which I believe Obama and his administration are currently deciding on tonight. He called for an emergency meeting of all of his people for this very moment. They are just now beginning to meet. So any of you that see this video, pass it on to all the media that you can. When I started to talk to you about Benghazi and what happened with that, we had to get 5 million emails sent to Fox News before they said, oh my gosh, we just discovered this that happened. So you need to know that the media is in the pocket of the administration and the people that are running and such, and they're not giving us news. And we need to go back to demanding that they give the both sides of every story as they did up until the early 80s, instead of just being propaganda machines, because we're not hearing about these things. And it's a lot easier to convince someone to deceive them than it is to convince them that they've been deceived. So please get this word out to all your friends as soon as you can. Ask the military people to assist in taking pictures of these planes and exposing them all over the internet now, all over social media. If we get these planes out and say, why are we painting these planes to look like Russian planes? And get that out all over, maybe we can stop this false flag before it happens. We're expecting that this will happen sometime between now and January 20th. Oh yes, and the end of the tape is Mr. Obama saying, I'm going to call in some expert help on this, and I'll be calling in Bill Clinton and George W., and the three of us will be taking charge of this operation together. And so we believe that this is the New World Order's agenda on how to get those three individuals to basically be the kings of the world. And so all of you that are Christians out there, please pray and know that this is the beginning of the end, and our greatest heartfelt thanks to Mr. Putin for being so gracious and not taking war against us when his plane was attempted to be shot down, when the 27 generals were hit with a large truck bomb in Syria a few months ago. That truck bomb that was in Syria, that killed 27 generals, Russian generals. That's why Russia packed up and left and went back until Assad begged them to please save him and his country from America. And we're hearing all kinds of reports from Syrians on the ground saying, we don't want America or anybody else here. We realize that Assad has a few mistakes, but he's ours, and we elected him, and we don't want all these other countries in here fighting over who should be here and who not. And so we need to get rid of the false flags, and we need to get rid of the proxy wars and everything that's just complete and utter disaster and intentional killing of Christians in order to prime the world for Obama and his minions being the new kings of the earth, literally. The end is upon us. Please, all Christians, pray, pray, pray. Please, anyone that's in the military, take pictures of those planes and get them on social media. We do have a chance as a nation to repent and pray and save as many souls as we can in the meanwhile before they march in with the guillotines and with the fake Russian jets, bomb our own cities. Our own cities. What they're doing bombing in other nations right now is war crimes. No one has attacked us. And we're operating full-scale wars in 8 countries right now. So please say prayers that as many people as possible will be saved before the end happens, and that we can get rid of this situation. And I believe that we have Mr. Trump as a test to see whether or not the people will go for the old school or whether they will go for someone who says that they believe in having godly leadership. But pray and pray that we can save as many souls as possible before then. And if people know the truth, then maybe they will be able to be saved. Because right now, the illusion and delusion is just phenomenal what's going on. And we just thank you and praise you, God, for this awesome and incredible day. And we say prayers right now that those people will be defeated. Because the Bible tells us we can overcome by the word of our testimony and by the blood of Jesus Christ. And in the end, we will succeed and we will win. So smile, sing a hymn, and witness to the person in front of you when in a few short months they start calling people to go to the guillotine. And don't expect that they're going to stand up and say, we're now killing Christians. Because all the people that got killed in Yemen and Kurdish areas, they were all just harmless little villages that didn't even own a single gun to their name. But they got killed. Why? Because the New World Order is trying to destroy as many Christians as possible before they wake up. So please, get everyone you know to wake up, because we need to stop all of this catastrophe that's happening. And God bless you all. If you'd like to help with this ministry, please send any kind of word of encouragement, any kind of support that you can to PayPal/BuffaloStudy@yahoo.com or BuffaloStudy@yahoo.com. And yes, I don't wear the funny hats and the glasses and things because they've made 7 attempts on my life already. So please, the men out there, stand up and have some faith in God and get the word out to everyone that you can. Pass out flyers. Go down to the courthouse and give speeches to the entire southern half of Southern California like I do every other Tuesday. And they're respectful and they're nice and they know that we're getting the truth out there. And so we'd like to see a few more men stand up. And men, women, whoever you are out there, everybody keep praying. Thank you so much.